Hey guys, Aaron here, and the question and theme of today's video is, my season got pushed back, now what? Alright guys, so hey, Aaron here, welcome back to another video. As you've probably seen on any of my social medias, which I'll put down here somewhere, I have been to 5 or 6 states in the last 2 weeks. So we drove out to Dallas for the Invitational week with Chris. Then I flew down to Houston to do some work, flew to Denver to do some work, flew to Nashville to do some work and potentially check out some houses. Flew to Tampa Bay to do some work, and then had my last camp in Atlanta a few days ago, and now I'm back just for a few days until tomorrow, which is Tuesday, when I fly to Minnesota to take some, I believe, well-deserved time off. During that time, a lot of states have now started to kind of choose what they're going to do with the path for football and school going forward. I know here in the state of California, they pushed back all football until December 14th. CIF rules, I believe it's for Northern California as well. But basically in today's video, what I wanted to do is kind of give you my thoughts on what you should do, how you should handle having a more extended off season, how you should prepare, what you should be thinking, etc. So let's get right to it. Okay guys, so number one, first thing you want to think about is taking some time off, okay? The biggest thing that's going to happen during this time is you guys are all used to being completely ready to go come the end of July, early August, right? So you're peaking right around now. So let's put this in perspective. You've been working since January, February, March on a steady incline, improving yourself, getting better, and all of a sudden now what they say is you can't play football for another 3 months. So the number one most important thing, and the thing that I can't stress enough, is I believe right now what you should do is take 2 to 3 weeks, if not a little bit more, and completely take off, right? You have to basically go through a mental reset, a physical reset, for this reason. If you continue to try to train and can try to push through for the next 4 months just the way you have been training 3 or 4 times a week, you'll burn out, and burnouts are no good. It's similar to lifting, right? If you get to a certain point before, let's say a physique show or something like that, and you're maxing, 2 weeks before the show, and all of a sudden they push a show back 3 weeks, you can't really expect your body to be able to continue maxing at that high weight, low rep volume for 3 more weeks. It's a tough situation we're in. So number one, first and foremost, what I would do is I would take essentially the month of August. If you feel like you need to punt or kick, maybe go once a week just to kind of keep everything flowing. But if it were me, I would take the entire month of August. I would chill out. I would go to the beach if you can, wherever you are. I would spend time with my family. I would read a book. I would do some stretching. I would, work on my upper body a little bit, as obviously I need to. I would do drills, but I would try to take my mind completely off of actually going out and punting for 3 to 4 weeks, just to kind of go through a mental reset through the grind you guys have just been through. Now keep in mind, this spring has been different than any spring in the history of mankind. I mean, coronavirus has completely wiped out a lot of schools' programs, a lot of schools' ability to be on the field with your team. A lot of you guys have not been able to consistently get into a weight room. So for those of you that have, made it this far and you guys are still punting well, kicking well, kudos, congratulations, because it has been, like I said, in my lifetime and your guys' young lifetime, one of the weirdest off seasons in history, if not the weirdest, okay? So you owe it to yourself to take a few weeks off. I really do believe that if you try to push through for the next 4 months, by the time season comes around, by the time December comes and you start your preseason, you're gonna be wiped out, you're gonna be burned out, your leg's gonna have blown off. I mean, think about it. That would essentially be like going through an entire season and then starting another one, right? So, number one, first and foremost, take the month of August off, chill out a little bit, go be a kid, go do some hanging out with your friends, go do some projects, go do anything else except for punt to give yourself a mental and physical reset. Number two, go talk to your special teams coordinator, your head coach, your teachers, whoever it is, and actually find out what the next few months are going to entail for you in terms of whether you're going to be going to school in person, whether you're going to be doing classes online, virtually, whatever it may be, so that the next step that you'll be doing is creating a calendar and a schedule for yourself for the next 3 months. For those of you going back to school, it'll probably be a little bit easier because you'll have that morning block of 9 to 3 in the afternoon, 8 to 2, whatever it may be, blocked off. to where you know you're getting up at the same time, going to school Monday through Friday, you're in class, and then you can schedule your afternoons for lifting and kicking. However, I know a lot of you guys are going to be having to do virtual learning for this fall semester, fall quarter. You're going to have to be doing a lot of stuff on the computer. And in that scenario, that's where it can get difficult for you guys to manage your own schedule. I 100% believe that the second most important thing you can do is go on the computer, sit down with your mom and dad, sit down with your coach and teachers, and whoever it is that's going to be kind of having an effect on your life for the next 3 months, and actually write down and physically set a schedule for yourself so you know when you're going to be kicking, when you're going to be lifting, if the team's going to be doing any sort of teamwork, right? So you can schedule around that. But basically learn and organize your time to make sure that you're not jumping straight back into it come September and then burning out again early, right? Have yourself a schedule set for when you're going to be kicking, when you're going to be lifting, when the team's going to be doing organized activities, etc., so that you're ready to go once you start back up again come September. So the third thing would be implementing that schedule and not jumping back in too quick. So now we're in September, okay, we're past our couple week break. Now the next thing is understanding that come September, if you're starting in December, January, if you're starting in the winter, you now have an extra 3 months of preparation. Let's compare that to going back to if you were to be back in March from this year. You have that long, right? So go back, work on fundamentals for September and October, really make sure the drop is good, the steps are good, etc. And then from there, what you can do is get ready to go into November, December, where you're peaking again. So number 3 is re-go through your plan and phase when you're going to be peaking, which would ideally be somewhere into December. We'll have punting camps again this fall, so you can go to those and attend and everything like that. But basically, you want to be peaking again come December. So we're going to now think about scheduling and making September and October our foundational months, right? Phase 1, where we're re-going through our good drops, our good steps, the grip, and everything else. You basically get another 2 or 3 months to perfect everything, which then, in my opinion, gives you no excuse to not be completely ready come December to be perfect fundamentally. You guys know I'm big on fundamentals. So number 3, implement the schedule that you write going into September and October. Okay guys, and number 4, and one of the questions I'm getting, and I know Chris is getting quite often right now, is how to kind of use this time to deal with recruiting. You got to understand, a lot of coaches, okay, wait to make their decisions. If it's between a couple kids or they don't exactly know how many scholarships they'll have or anything like that. A lot of coaches would wait until after a player's senior season to make a decision, right? They want to see you play 10 or 12 more games in front of crowds, how you handle pressure, how you perform in games. Now that season's been pushed back, you're probably stressing out seeing other kids get offers, anything like that. Now we've had a couple kids get some pretty good offers, some of the top kids in this 2021 class. However, again, remember, some coaches are now just gonna wait until you finish January, February, March to make a decision. I'm not exactly sure at the time of this filming how how signing day and anything like that is going to be adjusted, if at all. But what I will say is I project and I expect that a lot of coaches are still now going to wait to make their final decisions until you've played some semblance of a season. Now, whether maybe they'll only wait 4 or 5 games, maybe by the end of January, right? Maybe early February. But the point is, in a normal year, a lot of coaches wait until after the season is completed to see how you handle game situations. Now that season's been pushed back, yes, you can still send them film of you punting in shorts. Yes, you can still send them rolling film of being out on a field. However, please understand that a lot of these coaches want to see and want to make their decisions based off you in a game with a helmet, etc. So what I would say is don't stress so much about recruiting. Just stay the course, stay in touch with coaches. Once you start back this fall, keep in touch with them, letting them know what you're doing, sending them updated film, keep your social media, your Twitter and everything updated. But the 4th thing is my season's been pushed back. How will that affect recruiting? The truth is I don't think anyone will exactly know, but there are still going to be a handful, if not a good majority of coaches that are going to wait until, right? So if the kid in Virginia or Georgia has played his season, but the kid in LA that they might like a little better isn't going to play until January, they might buy themselves some time to wait and make that decision, especially now if they're going to continue to play, right? Especially some of the bigger schools are going to have a season. They might just take that time to focus on season and then recruit after. So number 4, don't panic about recruiting. Stay updated on it, but more so than not, and more so than anything, focus on yourself. Okay guys, so all in all, let's recap what we talked about. Number 1, take some time off. Number 2, set a schedule for the fall. Number 3, follow that schedule. Okay, get back into a rhythm. And then number 4, don't panic about recruiting. Your season's been pushed back. Again, there's a lot of other young men going through the exact same things at the same time. They don't know exactly what's gonna happen, none of us do. That's the best thing I can tell you projection-wise in terms of what to do. However, don't stress, don't panic. Know that a lot of guys are going through the same problem, having the same issues, and that we're all in this together. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My community tab is now engaged on my YouTube, so I'll be making more posts and more kind of spur-of-the-moment thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning into the video, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video, guys. To continue along with this journey and watch this channel grow, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel.